I'm so excited because on this episode I have the amazing Leo da Silva.
That's me.
You know, when he came on set, I was in awe. It's not my thing to be in awe of anybody. But when I saw him, I was like, Leo is, oh my God,
Please.
nice to have you on the show. I'm not flattering
Please
you.
stop watching me.
No, I'm not. I'm not watching you. I'm actually very genuine and authentic about how I feel about things. So it's not me trying to flatter you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome on the show.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be here.
Okay, another thing is, while on the show, I thought you were bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought you were not as tall as this.
Yeah.
Has anyone told you this?
Everyone says it. I think, okay, first of all, when I first got on the show, I was obviously weighing about 85 kg.
Okay.
And when I came out of the house, you know, I had reduced to about 79, but now I weigh 81. And that's because I'm leaning towards being more fit.
Okay,
you know,
so the weight loss is intentional.
Yes, it's now intentional. Like, I'm leaning towards staying this size, but obviously building more muscle. Because, you know, by the time you start getting older, you know, the less you gain, the better for your health. You understand? So I feel lighter. I can do more activities this way, and I can last longer, basically, you know, in general aspects of my, you know, activities. So now I feel
better and greater.
Yeah,
okay, now let's talk about what brought you into limelight. Not like you were not existing before then, but something made you more popular.
Yeah.
And that is a Big Brother Naija show.
Yeah.
What prompted you into going for Big Brother? Because I know most of the viewers will share same view. Yeah. You are totally different from most of the housemates. Yeah. We saw you as a very corporate person, the academician, this very young person with a persona of an older person, and that's because of your cerebral power. Yeah. So what made you to go into a 100% entertainment show, knowing full well that you're not an entertainment person?
Yeah, I think even I was surprised that I was selected because, but let me start from what prompted me. What prompted me was my mom. So my mom is a very huge fan of Big Brother for some years now. And it's very funny because she's a very astute Muslim. She was a very astute Muslim. So for her to even be a fan of that show, I can remember like 2000 a few years ago, she said, there's this Big Brother show, if you're around, you go for it. But this time around here, it actually caused an argument between my mom and I. Okay. So I moved in to take care of her because she was very ill. And she woke me up that morning of the audition. You know, she kept on telling me normally that she kept on telling me, she said, you know, Leo, you have to go. And I'm like, Mom, I'm a businessman. They're not going to choose me. But the reason why I went for the audition was because I wanted to fulfill all righteousness.
Yes,
I wanted,
be her, please
yes, just for her to say, okay, yes. You know, I went. Well, funny enough, I was chosen.
You were selected. Wow.
And it was kind of like she saw something, you understand? She saw the potential that, this is how my son is, and they're going to need someone like him on the show. She didn't know their selection process, but she just felt like, okay, this is an entertainment show, but they might want to look for a greater perspective. They might want to look for a lot of range. And having a lot of range, you need people that have that range.
Sure.
So they chose me. I was surprised because I always told them that I have no entertainment value. I am a businessman. Yes, I can still act like a youth.
Yeah,
you know, I can dance, you know, talk.
It won't just stuff. Be...
Yes, but I'm not going to be all over the place. I'm not going to be trying to cause drama. That is not me. I'm always going to be, you know, head first.
Okay, now you mentioned your mom.
Yes.
God rest her soul.
God rest her soul.
How did you feel coming out of the house and in less than a week?
Exactly a week.
You lost your dear mom. How was it for you?
It was devastating for me. It was the greatest pain I've ever felt in my life. You know, my life was centered around my mom. My mom was the driving force for every single thing that I have achieved of late. Because everything that I try to do, every business that I've gone into, everything I've ventured into, has always been about making my mom proud. Not my dad, not my family.
She was the center of your world.
Yes, she was basically everything to me. So losing her was like losing my purpose. But you have to just see the bigger picture. I sat down, I thought about it, and I started thinking about all the sacrifices she made
for you.
And I'm like, if this woman has made so much sacrifices for me since I was born till now that I can be independent, why would I now give up? The only thing is to follow through.
And she won't be happy wherever she is, knowing that you've packed up just because she...
Exactly. The only thing for me to do is to follow through, dust myself down, and get on with it. Because there's no amount of mourning, no amount of anything I can do that's going to bring her back, unfortunately. And I had to get that into my head real quick. And that is exactly what I did. You know, I loved my mom dearly. I think everyone that watched the show closely knows how much I love my mom. I always talk about her, always, because she was the center of my world. There is no Leo da Silva without her, basically.
I'm so sorry, Leo.
Thank you very much.
May her soul rest in peace.
Amen.
Now let's go back to Big Brother. It's going to always come up though. So now, before the show and after the show, what changed about you after the show?
After the show, nothing really changed apart from the fact that I am now famous. Nothing really changed, but I think my whole life has been, set up for all of this. Right from when I was a teenager till date, I've always had some form of fame. Whether be it locally, be it in uni. So I've always been in the limelight.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of thing where, I am able to manage it. It does not bother me at all. It does not change who I am.
Because you're just organic in your approach to even,
It doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my goals. You understand? It says I'm never going to be swayed towards doing anything that I don't want to do. Okay. It is just simple and short because I know what I want.
Okay. You're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
And in our climb, most people your age are yet to even finish school and get good jobs. But here you are doing very well. What are your words of advice to our youths who may be feeling, because currently I'm running a campaign on suicide, anxiety and depression, and sometimes, let's use you for an example now, lots of people who are your age would look at you, not like they envy you, but they would start to use you as a sort of yardstick. I'm not successful, I'm 25, I'm 26, and look at you. And they swing into some kind of dark mood. What are your words for such people?
Most importantly, this life is not a race. Most importantly, that is one thing we need to understand. This life is a journey, and each of us have our different journeys and our different timings. That's the first thing we need to understand. Then, secondly, one thing that has always worked for me in life, and has always worked for everyone around me, is knowing exactly what you want. You see, when you know exactly what you want, you're going to achieve great things. Don't think. Yes, you need to be able to sustain yourself. Yeah, and being able to sustain yourself might mean you not doing things that you necessarily would do at your age, or things that you're not open to. Obviously nothing fraudulent, but things that are maybe menial. It doesn't matter. Just know exactly what you want and work towards that goal.
Achieving that.
Yeah, I've seen quite a lot of people that have worked a year or two to save up for their masters.
True.
They know what they want. They know that, okay, after I
and
work,
no matter what the other person is achieving, it doesn't stop them.
It should not sway you.
Yeah.
You should not look at anyone's life. You can look at anyone as a motivation, but you should never look at anyone as a competition. That is the most important thing, because you're not competing with anyone. A lot of people might not know you exist.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
And then I'm allowing you have such an effect on me.
So you have to know exactly what you want. I think that's the most important thing. People would fight you for what you want. People are going to try to sway you that what you want is unattainable. But you need to be true to yourself and stick to exactly what you want. My father told me not to start business. My dad, he told me to go and find work. Bring your CV, let's go and find work for you. That was my father's advice. You understand? And that should be paramount, a parent.
Yeah,
but
African parent.
Just like the way my business partner would say, I am stubborn. But it's not unnecessary stubbornness.
Positive.
It is positive.
Strong will.
Yes, I just know what I want. And I'm not going to settle for anything less.
Wow, I just wish I could take your whole day. You are just a bundle of inspiration and motivation combined. Now you are the latest brand ambassador in town. Yay! I want to be like you when I grow up, even though I'm older. Okay, news came to us that you were just made the brand ambassador for Connected Development.
Yes.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, it is actually the most massive partnership that I've ever had in my life.
I'm so... Congratulations.
Yeah, people might think it is massive because maybe monetarily or anything. It is not. I've had a lot of partnerships that have, been way more monetary than this.
Yes.
But
in terms of impact and purpose,
it's in terms of what I'm most passionate about. That's why it is massive.
Education.
Yes, not just education, empowerment. Education is the greatest form of empowerment.
Yeah, true. Mental empowerment.
We need to understand that. If people, it's one thing for you to teach people how to fish, but it's another thing for them to be able to learn it.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying? So, education is the greatest form of empowerment, and I've always, even in the house, everywhere, I've always been saying, I'm so passionate about empowerment.
Yeah.
And me now being able to get hands-on with empowerment, to me, is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. It's not just about saying and saying and saying. Now it's about doing
it. Going beyond social media, going beyond writing and all of that.
Yeah, so
congratulations once again.
So
from now on, we're going to be seeing you actively
Yes.
lending your voice, going on projects, community projects to see that children, kids, African, Nigerian kids are enrolled into schools and they are seeing schools through.
So we're going to be championing every single thing, rural areas, every single place that you don't expect me to be. I will be there.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Mr. Leo da Silva.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.